I went through high school, three-sport athlete, went on to play hockey, worked in the prison system for 8 years, and then I got let go over false narrative. From then, I kind of picked up my drinking a little bit more. It got progressively worse until this past February 10th, where I got pulled over for DUI in Sault Ste. Marie. Got pulled over by actually my high school football buddy that I graduated with in 2008. And I remember sitting in the back of the cop car and basically asking him if he could just call my dad instead of taking me to jail. But at that point in time, it was a little too late. So I got to jail, and then I was sitting there, and then I finally was, realized that, boy, I'm on the other side of this right now. I used to be on the outside of it looking in, now I'm on the inside of it looking out. So from there, it was a long night. Got to court the next morning, and then I said, hey, what about if I went to inpatient treatment? Would that help me out in any way, being new to it? And they didn't give me a good answer. They didn't give me a yes or no. So I got home. My parents picked me up, and we were sitting at the kitchen table in the morning, and I remember them. You couldn't tell that they were mad, but they were that disappointed look. And that's like the worst. Like, I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed. That's the worst look. So I said, well, how about we just get in the car and go to Marquette? Got to Marquette, got into the hospital, was treated for detox, and just so happens with a couple strings being pulled, I was able to get in Great Lakes Recovery. I have a cousin that happened to work at the place at the time. And we had no idea about it. I always knew Great Lakes Recovery, we had it in the Sioux, but I had no idea that it branched off to other places. So when I got here, I found she worked for Great Lakes Recovery, and she helped me out tremendously there was a bed, just so happened to be one bed open. And that's how I got in there. And that's how I came to know the Great Lakes Recovery process. Through that, I was there for 6.5 months. And obviously now I'm at the Sober Living House, which has been beneficial, but I've learned a lot from a lot of great counselors and a lot of great people. And I've seen a lot of people come and go in the 6.5 months I've been there. Recovery is a lifestyle. It's something that you have to change. It's something that you wake up every day knowing that you're going to make it through the day if you just take it one day at a time. Sometimes it's just 1 minute at a time. It's not resorting to the use of drugs and alcohol. It's living a sober lifestyle, and it's a lifelong lifestyle. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something that people think of recovery, and they just don't understand the process of what it goes through. They call them normies, the ones that can sit there and just have a couple of drinks, or just use a little bit and then be done. Where myself, experience-wise, I'm more of a binge person, where I just drink and I can't stop. So you throw that into, now you got to deal with things a different way. You can't turn to the alcohol. You can't turn to the drugs. You have to enjoy life sober. And it was hard at the beginning, because all of a sudden, you're like, oh man, I'm never going to be able to drink again. But then you're like, do you really need it? No, you don't. You don't need it to have fun. And I don't miss the waking up in the morning and have the hangover. That was not fun. But that lifestyle, and it's also about changing your way of thinking. I don't have to do anything. I get to do it. I don't have to go work out at the gym. I get to go work out at the gym. I don't have to go to a meeting. I get to go to a meeting. Just learning to appreciate life a lot more. As I say, stop and smell the roses, is the big thing that comes to mind to me. So, yeah, changing your way of thinking. It's a different lifestyle, and life goes on. It's like, I heard something about a week ago where, there was a horse and a kid in the woods, and they knew what direction they were going, but there was a bad storm. And the kid got all upset because he didn't know, which way to go. And The horse pointed the direction, and he said, "How about you just start with the first step?" And started. So you set goals, and sometimes setting goals is going to be take a long time. But if you take that first step, that is the process into which recovery begins. So to me, setting small goals that learn into bigger goals, like set small goal like making your bed in the morning, something simple like that, and then you accomplish your first task of the day. You can move on. But yeah, and then continuing the process is just it's exciting now. Now that I can think clear, I can finally stand the person I see in the mirror. And I really like that, and I like getting challenges, because life's going to throw you curveballs. No matter what your life will beat you down, and the more and more uncomfortable you get with being uncomfortable, the more successful you are in life, because we have to get used to doing things that are uncomfortable, that make us feel uncomfortable, and that's how you grow, is by falling and then getting up and moving forward. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet, but moving on and moving in the right direction is the most important part. And being able to look back at that person in the mirror at the end of the day, knowing that you did everything right, and were honest with yourself and honest with other people.